Something I'm honestly embarrassed to admit is that for a long time I was waiting for someone to save me. And it wasn't in an obvious way. I was still working hard, I've always been ambitious, and I was building my own business and still trying to be a good person throughout all of this. But underneath all of that, there was this energy of like, maybe this client is going to solve everything for me. Maybe this person will finally choose me. Maybe this opportunity will make me feel safe, and this one opportunity will give me everything that I want. And maybe if I give enough, help enough, prove enough, someone will finally see me and take care of me. That being seen is such a big part of it. I felt like these people would see me and that they were okay, they were like, she's awesome, and that they were definitely going to follow through on what they said. But I don't think I realized how much that mindset was actually costing me, because when you're waiting to be saved, you overgive. You tolerate too much, you undercharge, you stay in situations too long, and you make other people's approval the thing that decides whether you feel okay. And it doesn't feel like that, right? Because it comes up in sneaky ways. It comes up in the way that you can't negotiate for yourself and the way that you feel uncomfortable naming your price. For me, one of the biggest things in my life was realizing that no one was coming to save me in the way that I secretly wanted them to, right? And that sounds harsh, but it actually became one of the most freeing things that I ever learned, because this hidden rescue me energy, it looks responsible on the outside, but it can still be approval seeking underneath. You're overgiving, you're hoping clients notice and hoping someone chooses you and helps give you clarity, when really you can only give those things to yourself. And so when I was doing my business, I'm still doing my business, but when I was starting my business, like way back when, I let a lot of people just not pay me for long periods of time, and I had really bad boundaries around that. Now if someone's late with a payment, I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I can't do that. Generally the invoices get paid like ASAP, but I've gone like months with overdue invoices before, and I know that my friends have too. And you train clients on how to treat you. Like, my friend is owed 6K with the same client that has never paid me late. They pay me late one day, one time, and then now they pay me perfectly on time every single month. So you definitely train people how to treat you. And I think that's why people pleasing can look so generous as well, but actually be really unhealthy, because in your mind, you're giving people grace, you're giving people time, you're overgiving because you're a good person. But are you really a good person if in the long run you expect more from it? I don't think so. I think you need to be able to give what you can give without being worried about getting anything in return. And so how it showed up for me, like I said, I was doing too much free work, and I was hoping people would value it. And these were people with like a decent amount of money as well, but they would just promise to pay me and they wouldn't. So it was definitely like our values weren't aligned. This person didn't have the values to do that, but I was open to that sort of user because I didn't have enough boundaries myself. I didn't value myself enough. And so at the end of the day, if you are not able to protect yourself from those sorts of people, there are those sorts of people who will take advantage of you. So I was giving from a place of need and not abundance. I was like, I need experience, I need clients, I need this money. And I was so afraid to let go that I probably missed out on opportunities of people who actually would have said yes to working with me and giving me money. Now, at the end of the day as well, though, all this ended up working out for my greater good, because I found that really good things did happen as a result of working for those people and the people that I would meet through these people that I was overgiving to. But that's not to say that I would choose to do that again, or that I continue to choose this again. My husband's calling me. One sec. Hey, babe.
Hey, with the Airbnb, do you want to do like Friday, Saturday? Or you want to do like Thursday, even, and Friday, Saturday?
Ooh. I mean, I'm taking from Thursday afternoon off, so what's going to make you feel the most rested? Because I know you need, like, some time to recharge and rest, too. I'm more the Energizer Bunny.
So if it's on Thursday, like, you can leave, you can left at like 6 or something, and get to like 10 at night. So it depends if you want to get to this late. Like, we'll get in late, but then we'll have like all morning.
Yeah,
Friday.
that sounds really nice, actually. Because I think if we leave at 6 from here, too, we'll miss all the traffic, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm down with that. That sounds super fun, babe.
We could do Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, thanks for planning. Love you. Bye. We're going to Houston in 2 weekends. But, okay, so I'm going to leave that in. Mostly because I don't feel like editing it out. But what's the next thing in my list? Where was I? Oh, yeah, so I was giving from need, not abundance. So just to bring in my behavioral economics background, so I was a applied behavioral economics consultant in London, and so that's basically like applied behavioral economics to healthcare and behavior change. And I just say that because I don't want people to think I just like pull this stuff out of thin air. This was like my job before I started my marketing career, and so I wanted to bring in the idea of reinforcement reward loops. So when you have someone who's not paying you enough or they pay you intermittently, that actually keeps you addicted to that person. And then there's also the Ben Franklin effect. Like, we think that the more that we invest in people, the more they're going to love us. But the opposite actually happens. The more that we invest in people, the more that we love them, and the more there's like a sunk cost there. And the harder it is to walk away from things, even if they're not giving us something healthy. So when people occasionally reward you for your free work, even if it's like just through praise, you keep doing it, and you don't know when the effort will actually pay off. But I'll tell you that the people who are actually aligned with you and the people you actually want to be your clients, like, those people are not going to make you wonder when they're going to pay you. They're actually going to feel morally uncomfortable with accepting free work for too long. They're going to feel weird about it. And those are the clients that you want, because those people are actually good people. I feel uncomfortable accepting free work for too long. Yeah, I would overgive it, right? And so you need to have the same standards that you would have for other people for yourself at the very least. But I just wanted to bring up that, like, the more you're giving to these people, the more addicted you're going to become to, like, you're going to be with them. And especially if they're intermittently reinforcing you, that's like a drug to your brain. And so breaking free of that, or maybe spotting it in the first place, is kind of the key. I talk a lot about inner work too on this channel, but like a lot of that is an inner journey. Like, you'll find that if your business isn't going well, probably your relationship's not going well either. And there's some inner work to do. And I can talk more about that. If you have any questions about that, make sure to leave it in the comments below. But it's just something to really consider, is like, how can you work more on yourself? Because when you work on yourself and your self-worth and your self-love, I found that things just come way easier, because I'm looking for opportunities, I'm in a better mood, all of that sort of stuff. And so what changed, right? So what changed in between who I was then and who I am now? So a really big one for me is investing in myself. I talk about this all the time. I probably am currently investing like $800 a month in coaching. Like, it's like $400 for the business coaching, $300 for my relationship coaching. I'm probably going to take a break from that in a little bit, but and then I'll probably start it back up, because I find investing in myself so important. And it really changed the way that I took myself more seriously. And I say that like as someone who was like, the first time I did it, it was scary, right? Investing that amount in myself. And I don't even think I started with business coaching. I started with a nutritionist. Like, I talk about this too. So I lost 55 pounds over the past 2 years without really trying. But before then, I'd been yo-yo dieting, and I was actually inpatient in the NHS for like an eating disorder. I wasn't like anorexic or bulimic. I was like somewhere in the middle. But then finally, when I let go and I was with a coach and I started investing in getting better, investing my time and energy over being like, I can't be like this anymore, eventually things started to fall into place. And by the end of my work with my nutritionist, I was like, I don't even really give a fuck about food anymore. Like, I don't feel like I'm really struggling with that. Let's move on to business. Let's see what's here. But even with the correcting the food stuff, like, there was still this stuff on the inside that I've needed to work through over the past 3 years. And I don't think I would have done it if I didn't have my business. But my business forced me to invest in myself continuously. And so I think that's so important. That's why I have my $1 course in the description below. Like, it's so people like you who are a younger version of me can invest in themselves a little bit easier to start with. Because that was the kind of stuff that had me start to think like, oh, like, let me learn a little bit. Let me just like start to dip my toe in. And long term, I want you to find something that you can invest yourself in. Like, if you can hold yourself accountable, great. For me, I struggled with it. And so investing in myself really forced me to take myself and my goals really seriously. And so that's why I have the $1 thing. Like, it's $1. I don't even make money off of it. And I'm literally like, you can have your money back if you don't like it. because I'm doing it so that way you start to learn the pattern of investing in yourself. And like one day I hope to do more courses and more programs and stuff like that. But right now I'm trying to build things that like a younger version of myself would really, really want. So the $1 course is all about like building your first business as well. So if you're like a year into business, this course is definitely not for you. I'm going to do another course soon on like how I got my first 100K in sales, like, and that's not like just sales, that's my take home from the sales. And so that was like a really game changing thing for me, because it changed my life. Like it really gave me a lot of confidence, because when you first start your business, it's so hard to have confidence because you don't have evidence yet. But when you start to get that evidence after like eating shit for 2 years, like it feels so good. And the only way I got there was by focusing entirely on my inputs, which is in the $1 course, but it's just one of the modules. So if you want to check that out, you definitely can. It's only $1, like I said. But I'm going to do something more focused on just how you can build a 12-week plan in order to up your income significantly to a place where you're really happy with it. And that'll be for those of you who are like in year 1 of business and you're still struggling, like you've passed a year or 2 years, like you're within that range and you want to be making 6 figures take home. So, yeah, anyways, I think with the coaching stuff too, like I was talking about the inner journey, but I have here on my notes, like learning emotional regulation was so huge for me, and learning how to manage my emotions, because that has really changed for the game in every single way. I can advocate for myself. I can say no to the wrong things. I just know myself so much better, and it forced me to become self-responsible. Like I feel like I am self-reliant. I'm independent, right? Like I love it when my husband does stuff for me. I love it when my friends do stuff for me. Like I love receiving, okay? I love the gifts. I love all the stuff. I feel like I'm so blessed because pretty much every meal is paid for. Anytime I want clothes, I'm like, oh, this looks nice. Someone's bought it for me. But I don't need it. I think that's the key. Like I don't think I got that stuff as much when I needed it. Maybe from my mom, but not from just like my friends. Like I wasn't attracting that sort of energy. But now I'm so appreciative of it. I'm so grateful, but I also don't need it. And that's an amazing energy to come from, because it's just all love. Like I'm like, okay, I love that you're doing this for me, but it's not why you're here. Like I could choose to be around anyone, and I choose to be around you. Like everyone would give me this sort of thing, but I choose to be around you. And that's an amazing feeling to give other people. So basically, I wrote this as well as a reflection. I didn't become colder. I became less available for dynamics that required me to abandon myself, because I still struggle with self-abandonment, and you probably do too. And I always say like the number one way that you can spot self-abandonment is whether you feel resentment or not. Resentment towards a person, resentment towards a situation. And then another one is if like you start blaming other people. That's when I find I'm like, oh, I probably did something to self-abandon because I'm blaming other people, when really everything's your fault. Everything's my fault. Like everything in my life is my fault, and everything in your life is your fault. And so when you're able to re-empower yourself in that way, it's really, really beautiful. Okay, so tying back to business and life. So this is where kind of the funnel comes in. Business does not require just marketing skills. It requires self-trust. It requires boundaries. It requires emotional regulation and the ability to act even when nobody is rescuing you, when it's just you on the line, to have that self-trust to be like, here's my plan, let me follow through. I can't control the outcome, but I can control me every single day. I can control my energy. I can control how I show up. And you don't have to be perfect. Even when I made my first 100K, I was doing like 70% of the activities that I said that I was going to do, but that was my goal. I was like, I don't have to do this plan full out. I just want 70% or better. Like last week, right now I'm doing my 12-week thing all around content, right? Last week I got like a 66%. The other week I got like a 90%. The second week I got like an 80-something%. I don't know what I'm going to get this week, but I hope it all averages out to a 70%. Like this week I need a little bit more time on the ads and the landing pages, but I work on averages. And that's why I love tracking, because tracking's not supposed to shame you. Tracking is supposed to give you a little bit more leeway so that you don't feel like you're failing when you're not perfect. Okay. So again, my free course is basically for the woman who is ready to stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect client, or the perfect confidence, the perfect person to save her. Like I have that course for you who wants to start your business. Just set the groundwork and start investing in yourself. I also have a free networking guide down below. And like I'm just starting my YouTube stuff, right? So my stuff, it doesn't get a lot of views right now, but I know that if I'm consistent, it will. So now's the time to ask me questions because I'm in my YouTube. Like, I will answer any questions. If you give me a video request, I will happily make it because I need ideas. So this is the time to ask me questions, because the reason I started this channel as well, I said for a younger version of me, because that person kept on asking me for like an hour of my time that I just don't have. So if you want to call with me, it's like $500, or you could just ask me to make a video. Up to you. I'll do the videos for free. So definitely give me any ideas, ask me any questions. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, all that. And I'll see you next time.